Like I was saying, I want y'all to check this out. And everybody make sure you hit like and share. We're about to go ahead and get started right now. Okay. Hang on 1 second. All right. Okay, so here we go. Let me make. Can everybody hear? Make sure you get. Okay, we good. All right. Okay, so yeah, here we go. Here we go. About to get started. Okay, so here we go. Cracking the Savage Beast Code, exposing the mind control, the negrification. Right. So just starting this off. Yeah, if you still in this day and age, if you're under the illusion that Negro does not dilute to slavery, then for most people, you also think it's cool to be savage. And some people get into that real hard and heavy, and then some people are only into it a little bit. Right? And you'll see what I mean. Some people don't go all full out savage. But pretty much, if you think it's okay to be black, right? Nigga, because everybody's making excuses why it's okay to call each other nigga. You act like the niggas, the Neteru, those were the gods of ancient Egypt. The negas. People want to claim everything so they can keep going with this slave label, right? But yeah, that means you think more than likely you think it's cool to be a savage. The men calling each other dog, women bitch is a female dog, right? And you think it's cool even though our people are marked for death. They're marked for death, literally. They're out here saying Black Lives Matter when it's obvious that they don't. And then black literally means dead. Literally. And that's just the English word for Negro. Right? Okay, so instead of returning to the ways of your noble ancestors, you being encouraged by, they literally have resources behind pumping the savagery. All right, when we are supposed to be aligning with the higher self and subduing the animal nature. We're getting Sony, Def Jam, Seagrams, Vivendi Universal, everybody. They trying to pump you to be a savage nigga. Okay, and remember, the Negro is a four-legged beast. But we're not just going to parrot that and repeat that. We're going to show you why. Okay, so African American, black, nigga, Negro, colored. These are all labels for the caste system in America. All right, and this has been getting pushed on us for a minute. Just that it's fun to be savage, and this has been happening slowly over time, over the years, but it really started heavy like around 2014 and 15. Right? You got the rappers 21 Savage, everybody savage, hard and heavy, and then literally like you have songs now like Meg Thee Stallion. The song is literally called Savage. And this is something that's getting viewed like hundreds of millions of times. Literally. Hundreds of millions of times. So this is big. This is going on all over the world. And everybody done remixed it. Beyonce remixed it. Beyonce so huge, anything she does is going to be seen by the whole world. So let's see. Beyonce, Savage remix. Then they even did a breakdown of the verses. Right, Bay the Stallion, and they doing a breakdown of the verses, and the verses are horrible. That bitch been that bitch still, that's a female dog, right? They breaking down these lyrics, talking about it's instantly memorable, talking about it like it's so wonderful, right? They did this remix. This remix probably got like 300 million views. Probably got more than that, right? So it's huge. It's big. Beyonce pushing it. Meg Thee Stallion. Okay? And they not talking about anything. They pushing the savage program. It's a program. And that's where they got us tricked, because you thinking that you came up with it. Right? You actually thinking it's something that you made up. Right? That's Rihanna. Rihanna got a clothing line. Savage clothing line. It's not a game. Right? Savage Life. Lil Webby. Coke Boy, man. Savage nigga. Keeping it savage. Right? This is being pumped on us hardcore. And it's the exact opposite of where we supposed to be. Right? So it's no joke. Jason Derulo, got the song, had over 100 million views. Savage Love. Right? Meg Thee Stallion. Just, the lyrics in that song are terrible. Right? Like the way she's describing herself, that's like the exact opposite of an appealing, decent person. Forget a relationship that you want to get in with a woman. That's just like she's describing an untrustworthy, terrible, despicable, a savage. Okay? And why is that though? What does the lower self do? It's just traveling the earth seeking whom it may devour. It's all about destruction. Right? Then look at this guy. 21 Savage. He's repping hardcore like he from the ATL. Come to find out he's not even one of us. This dude is from London. He got in trouble and he was facing deportation. He fears deportation. He not even one of us. He got the tats though. He got them tats. And he calling himself Savage. So we thinking it's cool. They're getting people from London to promote this to us. It's ridiculous. Okay? And this is not attacking any of these people because they're just pawns. They're not the masterminds of any of this. If you think these people are the masterminds, you don't know how this works at all. The whole entertainment game, they're just getting a program. This is what they're told to do. This is how they're told they can get paid. You can get paid if you do this. And so they do it. Right? Pills and automobiles. Chris Brown. Yo got it. I think Kodak Black on here too. This song was catchy. Like real catchy, right? Everybody was singing this. Hey, hey, right? This got almost 300 million views. This song was huge. And they pumping nothing but savagery. Look at this. Look at it. Look at the verses. Bitch, you out of line. Why you waste my time? Like, come on. What is a bitch? That's a female dog. 10 bad bitches on my side, man. Like, come on, man. Make them all my wife. Like, what? You hear these lyrics. And then it's like every other line. Bitch. Every other line. And it's just horrible. Like, it's despicable. And then what is a bitch? That's a beast. That's a female beast. Savagery. Right? And we singing along with it. And we're not even thinking like, this is programming. If you don't have this mind state, if you're not aware of the battle that's going on between the higher and lower self, you just singing along, you with other people, maybe you in a club, like you around people that's actually liking this music, that really like living this, buying into the program, you don't think that's affecting you? Like, somebody will be like, well, Jesus went to the thieves. I'll take you even further than that. Jesus went to the gangsters. He was kicking it with gangsters and thieves, hustlers. He was kicking it with prostitutes. You're not Jesus. You know why? Jesus mastered the lower self. He was aware of the battle that was going on. You can't be around people that's in this lifestyle, that's buying in hard with this program, getting high with them, getting drunk with them. Right? You're solely in the lower self. And you're getting caught up, even if you're considering yourself a Moor. This is really important because, like, as Moors, you can't go out and help your people if you're not aware of this battle. And then somebody else might think they're smart and say, well, we got to walk all the ways. We need to know what they're going through. And it's like, well, nah, that's supposed to be something from the past if you know better. And if you're now studying and you understand the battle between the higher and lower self, and you know that you must subdue the lower self, then there's no excuses now, right? Why are you out of line? Why you waste my time? It's like, why you getting high? Why you savage? Right? Not saying it is easy, but I'm just saying, like, you can't help people who are really caught in that lifestyle if you in there with them too. Just like if you falling down and you on the ground, you broke your leg or something. The person laying down on the ground next to you can't help you. You need somebody that's standing up, that's strong and solid. Like you don't even need somebody who's shaky trying to help you up, because then both of y'all gonna fall. You need somebody that's on solid ground, the rock of salvation, right? Solid ground. You need somebody that's solid that can get you up. How can they be solid? That's how Jesus could be with the hustlers, with the prostitutes, with the gangbangers, because he's solid. How can you be solid? You have to master the lower self. And if you're not there, then you have to be real about it. So it's to the point where you got to be careful. You can't even really be watching nothing or listening to the music if you don't even know about what's going on, if you don't even recognize the lower self when you see it. Right? And it's real, because that means this program's affecting everybody. All right? Even the ones that think that they're on point. Rihanna pushing it too. Right? Didn't they tell you that I was a savage? F your white horse in the carriage. Like she was pumping that hard. That song was catchy, right? That was catchy as hell. Needed Me. It got almost 300 million views. Again, this is huge. This means like when Rihanna does it, the whole world hears it. This is even bigger than rap, because like stuff like Rihanna and Beyonce, that means the whole world's on it. The whole world. Because they're huge. I lived overseas. I saw people in Brazil were singing Rihanna, singing Beyonce. They didn't really care too much about the rap, but they're singing this stuff even though they don't speak English. So Rihanna singing it and she pushing savagery, it's going worldwide, right? Why are we being used to push savagery? What did the prophet tell us? What did he explain to us? The keys to civilization was and is in our hands. All right? So we created civilization, and civilization is still in our hands. So we're being used. That's why I'm saying it's not an attack on Rihanna or Chris Brown or any of these people. They're just pawns. They're just being used. Right? So she got this song, this catchy, super catchy, and then the lyrics is just terrible. Didn't they tell you that I was a savage? She ain't trying to be with nobody. She heartless. She cold. And they pumping that like that's cool, and we all singing along. It's hot, right? That was good, right? And then some of the females are really buying into that, thinking, yo, that's the way to be. Dudes too, right? You buying in. You thinking it's the way to be. You calling females the B word constantly, right? Knowing that a bitch is a female dog. It's a beast. But it don't matter, because you savage. We all beasts, right? And then once again, this was huge. And then this one, just the song. See, some people might say, well, you're looking into it too much. It ain't no program. This ain't mind programming. Yes, it is. She got the lyrics in the song, and then boom, she's coming out with Lingerie. Savage by Fenty. Fenty, lingerie. Right? Like, it's not a joke. Like, look, when I tell you they're not the masterminds of this, I'm not just saying that, okay? She didn't come up with this. She didn't write that song. She definitely didn't make the beat. Somebody just like, hey, this is going to be a hit. Sing this. Sing it. All right? And she sings it. And they take some of the lyrics. Oh, we're going to have the lingerie, the whole lineup for Savage. We got it ready. Ready to go. Right? And people's wearing this. This is real. Look at it. And then they already was promoting. They ready. We got Meg the Stallion, ready to go. Look at this. The Savage lingerie come out. Meg the Stallion come out with the song Savage. They even got it here on the Twitter page. Right? So she's linked in with this too. Like she gonna have her own line. She already got it. It's probably her up here. So they got this ready to go for you. And that's another thing. Like a lot of us aren't producing. We're not producing products. We're not out there actually, contributing to society. So we don't realize that we're just consumers. They got it on deck, ready to go for you. It is a program, and it's ready to go. Look at this, the page website, savagex.com. This is all Rihanna's lingerie, Savage. Okay? So I'm just telling you, like, this is for real, man. This is no joke. And if you want to know why, like, the movement's suffering, or why, maybe even somebody's watching this, it's got some savage underwear on. You got savage panties and bra. It says savage right now. Okay? You even got probably the bootleg ones that people's making, you know, to sell. Right? You making your own and selling it. Okay? So, like, nah, this ain't cool. Nah, this ain't something that we created. It was created literally for us, and it was just ready to go. Like, they had it on deck and ready to go. It's not a joke. All right? And you can't think like a consumer. If somebody just has things boom, 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 ready to go just like that. They got, okay, we got the song, we pumping that, we got the rappers, we got the R&B singers, and we got the lingerie coming out, and then we got the rapper that's coming out right this, and she gonna be on the lingerie too. It's like, nah, man, this is a program. So they want you thinking it, singing it, they want it on your body, right? Like, this is serious, man. Right? You know, and then the female dog, they been pumping that though. You know, all the women call themselves bitch. You got women that's proud to say that, right? The female dog, look at this Doja Cat. This got like 200 million views. But it's cool. It's cool to do that, right? Meg the Stallion again. She doing it. That's like they go to. She got this. She got Savage, and she got everybody singing along with that, right? And this ain't, you know, an attack on them. They're just pawns. But it's the truth. And then, like, what is a bitch? It's a female dog, wolf, fox, or otter. The female of the dog or some other carnivorous mammals. Okay, example. The bitch won first place in the sporting dogs category. That's from Merriam-Webster. Bitch is commonly used slang word that is nonetheless vulgar when you throw it at a woman or a man. The word originally meant and still means a female dog. Okay, so I mean, some of y'all, even some of the females, you might consider yourself more, and you think it's cool to call yourself a bitch. You're a female dog, wolf, fox, or otter? Like, come on. Like, what's going on? Like, that's straight up lower self, savagery, beast mode. Okay? And his folks still out here thinking it's cool. And this is a whole program. Okay? Like, we you know, we had that consumer mindset, so we're not thinking at the level. We're not thinking like administrators. Like, they have all this set up to go. Like, now they pumping the female empowerment, fake female empowerment. They pumping sexuality, being promiscuous, right? And that's what it is. And they pumping it. They got this whole little fake angle, like, this is for women to be sexually free without being slut shamed. Like, this is crazy. And then it goes right in line with the fake Black Lives Matter thing. This one, you know, this airhead did the whole slut walk. And she with who? She's right there with 21 Savage. Right? And this dude, like, this ain't no attack on either of them, but it's obvious what's going on. It's like, she's way older than this dude. You know? This dude's like young in his 20s. You know, they just got him out here. Hey, you gonna be with her. Okay? And she pumping this, and this ain't her idea. And just in case you don't know what the CSH stands for on her belt, she got the sign. Just to let you know, it stands for Captain Save a Hoe. And then this is like for anyone that's been on hip hop, anyone that's like my age or older, you know, that's crazy. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, what would any man, any rapper be associating himself with the proud hoe? And then this says Captain Save a Hoe, and you all hugged up with him. Like, you would have zero street cred now. Right? But this is about stopping the slut shaming and Black Lives Matter over here, which is a trans, gay, LGBTQ movement. Really has nothing to do with us. So this is like a total mind job, because they know that still within the element of hip hop, there's still some masculinity in there. There's still something that's like, we not cool with that gay stuff, and we not cool with our women being out here being hoes. We not cool with that. So they trying to switch it, and they using the savagery to get you in there. They trying to make it cool. It's cool to love hoes. It's cool to be hoes. Don't shame them. Your little daughters need to be hoes. Your granddaughters, everybody, they all need to be hoes. This is what they pumping. You have to be smart enough to see this, though. Look at this. Look at this. Amber Rose, rapper 21 Savage, slams critics for shaming his support of feminist movement. Okay? This is the angle they putting on it. You know? And it's ridiculous. It's crazy. And then he looked like a straight mind zoned out. He looked like he zoned out. Like, look at him. He just looking straight forward. It's like, this ain't an attack on him, but this is real. Like, these people are just robots. They're just puppets. Okay? They're pushing the program. Look at the sign behind him. And it looked like it's an Asiatic man holding it up, talking about, I'm a hoe too. Like, what the hell is going on? All right, this is crazy. And this is what's being pumped. All right? And, you know, this ain't going to be too long, but just real quick, like, you know, there's real life consequences that come from this. And since we're talking about this, you know, man, I was in this group on Facebook, this Black Fathers group, and somebody's in there. He made a post, and his post was all over the place. But the reason I want to share this is because these are like real life consequences from having that savage mindset. Like, it ain't all about just killing people and, you know, like, those are extreme consequences, but this is real life how this can mess up your life. This dude, and then he got like a Hebrew Israelite name, but he's lost. And that's why I'm saying you could even be thinking you a more, and I'm not saying you're not a more, but you could still be lost, which is why you need to study the prophet. You need to get in there and find out how to connect to your higher self and realize what it's really about. This dude saying, need some advice. My son's mom and I aren't together but still mess around and basically are together without a title. My dilemma is I want more kids but don't want to have them with other women. I really don't want to have to deal with multiple women. She don't want any more and made it clear she won't have more. I told her I've been thinking about adopting or going with a surrogate, but she flips out every time I try to talk about it. Should I just go ahead and do what I want? And it's like, this is crazy. Like, if you don't see how that's insane, this dude talking about he's not with the son's mom, which is like, this is what this savage mindset, this is what it pushes you into. You either making children with somebody that you don't even really want to be with, you don't really like, because you just gratifying the lower self. You just want to have sex, and you wind up popping out a kid that you ain't even want, right? You know, which is a messed up situation, you know? And so you know, him and the son's mom not together, but still messing around, still having the sex without a title. You want more children, but don't want to have them with other women, right? Like, basically, okay, this is totally out of whack, out of balance. Like, the last thing you want to do is to have, like, children with, like, 3 or more women, 2 or more women, right? And especially you haven't been married to any of them. This the last thing you want. You have dudes all over the place to complain about how, like, the moms try to use the children to punish them, you know, because maybe she's mad they're not together, and that's the only way she can get at you. Y'all not together no more. You messing with other people. Only way she can punish you is, oh, you can't see your child. These are like horrible situations that make life difficult for you and your children. And now you got children coming up in these situations, and that might perpetuate that situation. So this is what happens. And then this dude, like, you know, it's not about that dude, but just saying this is the type of thing that comes about, you know, just confusion, just gratifying the lower self. I mean, they were flaming them. They were like tearing them up in the comments. You know, people, stop sleeping with her if y'all ain't together. You know, you gonna mess yourself up. I mean, people needed to, you know, it's kind of putting them in his place, because that's ridiculous. Like, you know, for a man to be saying that stuff. Somebody said playing a dangerous game, and they got the little meme talking about this is gonna be a disaster. Somebody said this is a total unadulterated mess. We're not together, but we're together sexually. We have no commitment, but I want her to be the only mother of my child, and talk to her about your future desires in that area. Then wanting a woman to raise your children by your rules and keep having your babies, and you ain't even trying to marry her. Like, it's crazy. But this is what happens. Like, this is whack. This is messed up. And this is what they want our community to be on. Right? And so even people who claim to be Hebrew Israelites and Moors and all this stuff are caught up in this mess. This might even hurt somebody's feelings seeing this. But this is real. Then on the other end of it, it's real life consequences. It's not just rap. This thing says rapper shot dead. And I'm not like, I'm not making light of any of this, man. This is real. This is horrible. This just happened this year. Chicago rapper Trey Savage shot dead, killed by gunmen in Chatham. Right? Like, this is horrible. And then you see up here, it says Chicago rapper Lil Reese critically wounded in shooting. Down here, 2 teen boys shot to death. Rising Detroit rapper Jizzle P killed in shooting. Like, this is horrible. Like, the whole Savage thing is messing us up, and it's keeping us from rising up and really being successful. And it's the exact opposite of what the prophet brought. Hang on a second. So we're gonna go to the questionnaire real quick. This is the exact opposite of where we're supposed to be at. Right? In the Quran questionnaire, question 70 says, what is the higher self? And the higher self is the mother of virtues and the harmonies of life, and breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. And then the next question is, can the higher self pass away? The answer is no. And then the next one, 72, is why? And then the answer is because it is Allah in man. Right? So the lower self is earthbound. It's stuck to the earth. And it's stuck to the earth. It can't go anywhere. The higher self is eternal. The lower self has a motto, basically, and this is something that they were pushing. They were I think, like, right before you really started seeing all the songs coming out with Savage, everybody was saying YOLO. YOLO was like this stupid little it was just like a fad. It came and went, and nobody really saying YOLO anymore. And just for those that don't know, it's you only live once. That's the lower self's motto. You only live once. Why? Can the higher self pass away? No. Why? Because it is Allah in man. What does the lower self breed? Hatred, slander, lewdness, murders, theft, and everything that harms. What did the higher self say to the lower self at one time when you're going? Said, where are you? When he met it, said, where are you going, Satan? And then what was the answer the lower self gave to the higher self? I'm going to and fro the earth, seeking whom I may devour. Okay, so YOLO. Everybody was screaming out YOLO. People screaming YOLO out before they do something stupid, right? You only live once. That's literally the motto of the lower self. You only live once, right? You only live once. That's totally the lower self, because that's the portion of you that's falsehood. That's the portion of you that's temporary. It's just a reflection of you. It's not all that you are. And so it was pumping that, just putting it out there like it's a little experiment to see how many people take it and run with it, and then boom, Savage. All these songs coming out pumping that. So it's the exact opposite of our divine instructions. The divine instructions, the top of the Holy Quran, every page says the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet. Every Moor should have this. I'm not even saying everybody go out and join the temple, but do go and get a Holy Quran from a temple, and get the Quran questionnaire, get the Divine Constitution, get the Moorish literature, and study it. And then you'll see what's real and what's not. And also the information that you run into on the internet and in the streets, you'll know what's real and what's not. And then also, When you seeing people on YouTube and they saying they're grand sheiks and they constantly cursing and every time you see them they talking about this person and talking about that person and being foul and disgusting, you'll be like, okay, there's no way that person is a grand anything, because they're straight up in the lower self. This is what our ancestors were on. The prophet, the Egyptian adept, right, Noble Drew Ali, returned this to us. You see this meme up on the screen. This is up here because this is real. Egyptian gnosis. How to subdue your lower animal self. Right, in this picture you see Pharaoh holds twin opposites. The shepherd's staff, right, which is this one with the hook, that's mercy, and the flail, severity. Some flails for beating them when they're getting out of line, because that's what they do to beast. Right? You ever rode a horse before? They got that bar in their mouth, they pulling on it. Sometimes they still using whips. Right? So the staff, that's mercy, and the flail, that's severity. That's balance. Both are used to subdue animals. Here they symbolize mastery over one's lower animal nature. The shepherd's staff is used to pull stray animals by the neck without hurting them. Mercy. The flail is used to beat animals into submission. Severity. Mastering these symbols means mastering your lower animal nature to find your true self in the center. Okay? So, yeah, this is why more than half of the Quran is like a self-help book. It's not like other religious books. It's like a self-help book, and it's all about mastering yourself and mastering the lower self, subduing the lower self. It's not a coincidence. The prophet was an Egyptian adept. He's returning this wisdom to us, and the gnosis, doing it, knowing it, actually doing it, not just reading it, not just hearing about it. And so it's a constant process. Not saying that any one of us have totally mastered this yet. Just saying that if you're aware of this, these tools, these invisible tools in your mind help you to navigate through life to truly be successful. So you can't be out here thinking you're more or whatever you want to call yourself. I'm a god, I'm this, and that. And you straight up stuck in the lower self and don't even realize it. You can't be out here dancing to the song unless you at least know what's really going on. Seriously. Like, you can't be out here at the bar getting drunk with everybody acting like you doing something. It's like, nah. Cause see, if you was there, you're not drinking, but you could be around them and maybe you speaking a little wisdom or trying to, but nah, man, people not doing that, are they? Right? You partaking too. And so this is really important because this is where the power was. How to subdue your lower animal self. To bring out the God in you. To truly unify with the higher self. Nothing can rule over God, man. Nothing can rule over Allah and man. All right? That's why more than half of the Quran is about this. All right? Mastering self. Because no one can rule over you once you've done that. And that's the biggest secret. And this is also what a lot of people want to overlook. Because, people have different reasons for coming to this. Let's just keep it real. Some people are coming to this because they think they can get over with something. That's the lower self. Right? But you're not going to succeed until you come to the truth. This is the truth. Right? Subduing the lower self. And this is the program, the savage program, is the exact opposite of these divine instructions. The prophet's divine instructions are in alignment with this ancient wisdom from Egypt. Okay? It's divine, meaning of or from God. And so also, in the Quran questionnaire, question 64 through 67. Let's see, 64. Give 5 names that are given to the descendants of Adam and Eve. Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, and beast. Okay? So in that, you have an assumption in there that man didn't originally have a lower self. Right? There was a time where man was unified with the higher self. So the lower self came about later on. And in 65, what is the devil sometimes called? The lower self. 66. How many selves are there? Two. Name them. Higher self and lower self. Now this is important and something that usually would just be reserved for our classes, for the temple. But I want to share this because there's so many people out here who don't have the divine instructions, but you thinking you running with something. And I'm not like worried about the people out there who like know about this and ignore it, because there's nothing you can do for them. Right? And what I mean is, I'm not talking about the know-it-alls who already know all this stuff and they choose not to try to live right. I'm talking about people who are new to this, who don't even know that there's a structure and a foundation, and that we have divine instructions that will guarantee your success. And so for those people, I say, you need to get the Quran, the Holy Quran, get the questionnaire, get the Divine Constitution, get the Moorish literature. Okay? And study on your own. If you want to, study with a temple. If they can give you some guidance and help you, study, maybe even join, right? But that's on you. But I advise everybody to do this because that's where the true salvation is, right? Listen, this is just plain and simple. People who think that there's like some type of salvation in being a Moor, proclaiming your nationality, but still being savage, you haven't mastered your lower self. You're still a part of this program. All of this stuff that I showed earlier in the other slides. This stuff that's going on. People getting killed out here. Rapper called Trey Savage, literally with that name. And I'm not, man, this is horrible. This is real. This is not a joke. It's a real program, and we are suffering real consequences for it. People having real drama and trouble in their life that they're creating because they're stuck in the lower self. Like all this is a program. They just use puppets to push it on you. Okay? All these names we call ourselves, they're using celebrities to push it. They got people wearing Savage on their butt, wearing Savage on your body. Literally. Okay, you're wearing it. It's in your mind. It's in the programming. TV's called programming. Radio's called programming. It's for a reason. It's mind programming. Okay? And so you can't overlook this. Get this and study it. Question 64 is giving you a lot of insight. You're given the 5 names that are given to the basically the lower self, right? The descendants of Adam and Eve. The lower self is called Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, and beast. That's important. The prophet is giving you the identity of your enemy, letting you know that it's the lower self. You have to be aware of your enemy. A lot of people don't even know there's a lower self. So you have to be aware of your enemy. You need to be able to identify your enemy, and you need to be able to locate the enemy. All right? So our last prophet, Allah's prophet in these last days, actually provided us with the disguises that the lower self uses to come at you, the personalities that it uses to operate. Okay? Like you have devil, dragon, beast, Lucifer, and Satan. Okay? Just going off of beast, since everybody's beast mode, savage. Beast represents the craving for gross materialism. Isn't that what a lot of the music's all about? A lot of this pop culture? Just gross materialism. Cars, money, clothes. Dragon represents same thing. Greed, passion, lust, ignorance, perversion, and that which is earthbound. And that pretty much sums it up. That's mainstream culture. That's rap. That's R&B. Okay? Perversion. It's literally pushing perversion now. Like literally. We got the WAP song, right? Ignorance. Ignorance, lust, passion, greed, perversion. Everything is earthbound. That's what it's pushing. Okay? So we're supposed to be rising up. We're literally coming into a new age. We're in the age of Aquarius. We're entering into it. Things are changing rapidly. The prophet came to warn us, to prepare us. And this always happens at the beginning of a new age. The prophet comes to prepare the people. So the prophet was right on time. He gave us the structure and everything that we need to go into the new age. All right. So we're in the age of Aquarius, and this is what we're supposed to be on. And that's why it's not a coincidence. The savagery is being pushed on us hardcore. That's why I was saying, you can't just watch this video. You have to click share and like, because they're not pumping this. They're not putting this on, on the news. They're not like sending everybody here on YouTube and on the algorithms and all that, because this is the exact opposite of what they're pushing. They're not trying to wake people up. All right. So we have to do this. You have to share this. You should go back and share this a few times. Keep it real, because like everybody's caught up in this to some degree. Some of us aren't caught up as much as others, but everyone's caught up in this. I'm not sitting up here trying to act like I'm any better than, everybody, but everybody's caught up in this, and some are caught up in it heavy. And then most of us who get into this information, we don't even realize this whole battle with the higher and lower self and how important that is. Like, they're not pushing this savage program because the higher and lower self don't really matter. That's just some spiritual stuff. No, they're pushing it because the unseen is what's real. And that's where the power truly is. If you control your mind and you're in control of your lower self, none of these little traps and things that are set up for you will work. None of them. It won't work, period. And we're set up, actually, if you really read the Holy Quran, it's establishing or setting us up to rule, right? To rule, period. To rule all the nations, to be the head of everything. Okay, but you can't be the head of everything if you're not even the head of yourself, right? You're supposed to subdue the beast. And so it's extremely important to actually calm it down, get out of that beast mode. You hardcore in that savage beast mode, to calm down, get out of there for a second, and realize that it isn't cool to be stupid. Dragon represents greed, passion, lust, ignorance. They push ignorance on us, right? Isn't that pushed on us hardcore? That it's cool to be ignorant, right? Why else would grown men be walking around sagging their pants, right? Why? Because it's cool to be ignorant, right? Like, literally, why you got people walking around like this? Grown-ups. This ain't the only thing, but this is horrible. Like, that's embarrassing. Nobody wants to see that. I don't even want this up on my screen because it's ugly. Nobody wants to see this, but people are doing it in real life. Even you got somebody who will be ignorant enough to put a fez on their head. I've seen it. I've seen people in videos wearing a fez and their pants are all the way down it. Like, come on, man. We're grown-ups. I don't even want to talk to nobody about that. That's stupid. That's ignorance. That's the lower self. You're not doing anything like powerful by doing that. You're just serving the lower self. It represents greed, passion, lust, ignorance, perversion, that which is earthbound, ignorance. Okay, that's straight up ignorance. You only live once. That's the lower self's motto. All these memes with the YOLO stuff and people was saying it. You even had some songs, with YOLO in there. It was some songs that were like real popular too. Okay? Preparing us for this program. This is real. And the program is so real and people overlook it because you think that this whole higher lower self stuff, man, that stuff don't matter. Man, they on some church stuff. Like, look, I get it. I know why people would say that. But the thing is, you don't know this is real. Maybe you've never connected to your higher self before consciously. And so you don't know that it's real. The only way to know that it's real is to really open your third eye and do it. Okay? And maybe that gives you extra motivation to get right. I don't know. But I will tell you this. This is extremely real, and that's why they're pushing the exact opposite of our divine instructions. Anyone who's leaving this out, I would question them. Anyone that you see that's like positioning themselves as any kind of leader. I don't care whether they're in the temple or they say they're in the temple. You got a bunch of people, making up their own temples and stuff. I don't care what they do. If they don't have themselves together, if you can like listen to them and you see the savagery just in how they talk and act, you know, they're foul, they're always attacking people, or they're out there, you know, living the street life, right? There's no way they can lead anyone or help or assist anyone because they haven't even started to walk on that path to subdue their own lower self. Not saying you have to be perfect, just at least to be working towards it. Okay? So this is like, that's why things aren't, like, for a lot of people, they're not getting anywhere with this. And it's not working. People aren't succeeding. They're skipping over the most important part. And they're part of this program. This is mind control. This whole savage thing is mind control. All right? And a lot of people are caught up in it. They bumping the songs. They bumping the music. This Coke boy, man. Savage nigga. Like, come on. Everything about this is wrong. Somebody somewhere is dumb enough to think this is cool. Right? Not knocking anybody. It's just saying that this program is real. And like what you see up here, like, you know, are you proud to be a savage nigga? Negrification. This is a real word. Right? Look at the etymology dictionary. Negrification. Like, who would even think this is real? But I'll show you why. And who created this stuff. Negrification. Fact or act of making Negro. Placing under control of blacks. Creating a Negro and placing them under control was called negrification. All right? And then look at this. In social context, from Negro on model of pacification. When you out here, you think you coke boy, man, you savage, you a savage nigga. You thinking you cool, you thinking that that's like hardcore, that's making you masculine. That's pacifying you. Right? Because you're a savage Negro. Okay? Pacification. Negrified. The act of making black. It says Johnson, 1755, has negrification in a literal sense. Act of making black. 1755. Negrify, blacken, is from 1650s. Okay, to turn into a Negro is from 1790. What was happening around this time? 1790. This is when they're taking our nationality from us and giving us these labels to turn into a Negro. Once again, the prophet is right. Okay, it's from 1790, and you know, this is crazy. So you know, you think you hardcore because you savage nigga. You sagging your pants, so you know, like a female. The other females, they all saying they savage. Beyonce, Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, all of them, they all savage. Rihanna, right? It's not knocking them because they just pawns, but they're helping to make you pacified. Make a Negro is a pacified slave. They're not a threat. They're only threats to themselves. Savage niggas only kill each other. Everybody knows that. Savage niggas hardcore, they on you when it comes to each other. They ain't no threat to white supremacy or any of that. Pacification, man. Negrification. And it's like, that's a word? Oh yeah, it's a word. And look at this. You used to be able to type non-descendable on Google, and this is what would come up. They changed it. But it would say there were millions of people living in the West that were not African, but were reclassified as Africans, and because of that classification, they have become non-descendable. If your skin was dark, so it was believed you were from Africa, and therefore your indigenous nationality was stripped from you. Okay, so once you become a Negro, which it doesn't matter if you're saying African American, black, it's all the same. You're non-descendable. You don't have any descendants. You don't have any ancestors, and the ones that come after you, they come from nothing. Why? Because you're this. Are you a savage nigga? Are you proud of that? This is a nigga. This is what they created. They actually wrote volumes of books defining the Negro, which line up with this whole negrification, the act of making black, literally, right? To turn into a Negro. And then even referring to the people, fact of making a Negro, placing under control of blacks. Like, this is from the book Negro, a beast or in the image of God. They have their whole little creation story in there showing creation, heaven's light shining down on the European man and woman, and the little Negro beast over here in the dark outside of creation. He's a savage, right? And this is what they showed. And like, it's messed up, but I tell you what, it's good to check this out, right? So in the book, The Negro Beast or in the Image of God, it says, the Negro and his relation to the human family. The Negro, a beast, but created with articulate speech and hands, that he may be of service to his master, the white man. Okay? And this book is actually in law libraries. Like, this is not a joke. You know, there were people who didn't agree with this, but for the most part, a lot of work was put into defining the Negro. It's outside of the human family. It's a beast. It has articulate speech and hands, but it's only so that he can be of service to his master, the white man. Okay? And then look at this, chapter 1, the formation of the Negro and other beasts. And that's where you get that picture, the Negro on the 6th day. Like, Negro wasn't even in there. He was outside of creation. You know, you got the fake European Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. How are they connected with the Negro? You know? So, like, you know, the average person that see this and just get mad, like, this is racist. But, you know, not looking at it from an emotional standpoint. You just want to get an understanding on what's really going on here. Another good book to check out is The Iceman Inheritance. Like, the whole thing with the Negro, right? They put that label on us, and that's not even who we are. You know, there's a thing called the troglodyte nigger, okay? And the troglodyte was the caveman, which is one thing it talks about in here, the Iceman Inheritance. The Neanderthal Caucasoids. These were the troglodytes who were actually cavemen, for real, living in caves. And it's no secret. This is something that's spoken about. Like in school, they'll teach about the caveman and act like that's all our history, knowing that was this person's history. This ain't even a person. This is a beast. You might not be able to see these words down here, but it says troglodytes nigger, the black orang. This was the troglodyte. This is the nigger right here. That's a troglodyte nigger. Okay? And in many ways, they will tell you that that's the caveman's ancestor, the troglodyte. His ancestor was the troglodyte nigger. Because they say, well, you know, the troglodyte nigger could kind of walk upright, but still walked on all fours every now and then. This is pretty much like a chimpanzee. Okay? And what did the prophet tell us? The Negro's a four-legged beast. This is what the troglodyte nigger was. This was the precursor to the caveman. And they switched it and put it on you. All right? They switched it. Okay? And it's like, who switched it? Same people who's wearing our headdress in secret. They're laughing at you. Because you don't think this is serious. And you going for the savage program. This is what's being pushed on us. So I'm not making any of this up. I mean, like, look at this. This is from the Royal Society. Troglodytes nigger. Okay? It's a chimpanzee that's walking upright. It's a beast. It's not cool to be a nigger. Black. It don't matter how you change it. It's still lining up with something that they created that's outside of the family of humans. That's your ancestor. Okay? What does this definition say? The troglodytes nigger, chimpanzee, an African ape. It's from the troglodyte family. It approaches more nearly to man in most respects than any other ape. It is the most intelligent of non-human animals. And when full grown, it is 3 to 4 feet high. Right? So they got a lot of research on the troglodyte nigger. Like, I'm not making this up. Okay? This thing says this was the first mammal volume in a series of 40 volumes on mammals. This chimp species was not well known yet when it first arrived in the London Zoo in 1835. Okay, so this is real, you know. And if anybody's ever seen the evolution scale of man, let me see this if I can pull that up. Yeah, man evolution chart. They'll show you this. I'm not making any of this up. Okay? This is not me, definitely not me being racist, because they'll tell you this. They'll show you that. And of course they'll put it out there like this is all of us. But this is not all of us. Now this is what you commonly see. This, you know, showing the chimpanzee getting a little taller, walking more upright, and then finally you got the modern man. Okay? But that's not us. But the thing is, if you're going along with the whole nigga savage program, that's you. You that thing way back here at the back though. You're not even this one. You back here. You the missing link. Okay, some more stuff. Zoological Society talking about the troglodyte nigger. Okay, refers to a type of chimpanzee. Troglodyte nigger settles mostly by caves and are very hairy with pale skin. When fully grown, the troglodyte nigger reaches from 3 to 5 feet high, which is close to man's average height. The word troglodyte, also known as Neanderthal or caveman, which refers to a cave-dwelling, hairy, smelly, slimy man with pale skin. The troglodyte are unacquainted with the affairs of the world and were degraded, primitive, or brutal in character. Okay, so this whole little category of this quasi-human, this missing link, was flipped and put on you. Okay, even though that's not even your history. Okay, so there's nothing at all cool about going along with this program. That was all flipped on you. But it has nothing to do with who we truly are. And so once again, with this image, which mostly just get caught up in this, oh, that's racist. Nah, they're showing you as the missing link. They created the story, and this didn't just happen overnight. This happened over hundreds of years. Like you saw in that definition of negrification, okay? They've got it documented. 1755, Johnson has negrification in a literal sense, act of making black. And negrify, blacken, is from 1650s. Negrify, to turn into a Negro, is from 1790. So in the 1700s, the negrification was taking place, where they were turning you into this, turning you into the missing link. You're the missing link. And so this why people out here talking about Black Lives Matter, it don't matter. The whole world knows about it. There's even people marching in other countries. It don't matter. They'll never matter because you the savage nigga. You the missing link. They don't have to respect you. You saw what it said in there. You have hands to serve your master, the white man. Okay? You have to step outside of this. There's no other way around it. You have to step outside and be more, but you can't just claim to be a more and you're still a savage nigga. You have to come into the divine creed. You have to know what the laws are. That's why I keep saying, like, you know, because I've seen the people, like, they can't even listen to them. There's some people who, like, I mean, most of the stuff you see people on YouTube and stuff is fake. But there's some people you see, they're out there acting like they're leaders and stuff, and they're like, every word out their mouth is like foul, disgusting. They're always attacking people. That you know they getting high and drunk. They don't have it together. They foul. They with the savage program. You can't pretend to be a Moor. That makes you no better than this one. You can't pretend to be a Moor. You have to do it for real. So you can't pretend you no better than this one right here. The one on the screen right now. They wear the fez in secret, right? You know better than that one if you live in a savage life, right? You got to be like, you have to take this serious, right? The divine instructions. That our prophet, the Egyptian Adab, returned to us how to subdue your lower self. So the biggest battle is within you. It starts with you. It's a personal thing. And that's why, yeah, it would be good to come together if the people are acting right and doing what they're supposed to, within the temple, so that you can work with other people and build with them and build a society that is based off of these principles and these divine laws, right? You don't want to build a society off people who trying to get out of traffic tickets, and we don't want to drive, we don't want no license, and we trying to get out of these gun charges and drug charges and whatever else people trying to run from. They're not trying to build anything that's going to last. Right? You have to come in and do it for real, man. It's no joke. Okay? And so if you are stuck in the lower self, if you're watching this, share this, take this seriously. Get the stuff I was recommending. Get the Holy Quran, get the Quran questionnaire, the Divine Constitution, get your own copy, and get Moorish literature too, and start reading and studying and doing it. Start being a noble. Don't pretend to be. Be a noble. Do this for real. You're holding the twin opposites, the shepherd's staff of mercy and the flail of severity, in balance to subdue the lower nature. These are symbolic things. They're invisible, but you got it in you. So that when your lower self is coming up, you're not caught up. You recognize it. You can get it back. You have to do that. If you're not doing that, you're pretending. Okay? And that's the biggest thing. And this is why you actually had leaders, lawmakers, so-called lawmakers, in the Virginia House of Delegates in 1832 talking about us, where Henry Berry said, "We have as far as possible closed every avenue by which light may enter the slave's mind. If we could extinguish the capacity to see the light, our work would be complete. They would then be on the level with the beast of the field, and we should be safe." And they were speaking about the so-called Negro. Okay, and so that's a real quote. You can go look that up yourself. That's for real. In the Virginia House of Delegates, there was some insight on that was from that I took this from the book The Secrets of Freemasonry by Elijah Muhammad. Well, it was cool because he shared a Masonic perspective on this. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was I believe he was a 32-degree Freemason. So I'm just going to read this. The above site is not only chosen to testify the degree to which this government or its founding fathers of the country went to kill our capacity to be educated, but it also shows that whoever the speaker was talking to, he's talking to other delegates, other lawmakers. This is in 1832, House of Delegates, Virginia. In addition to himself, he used jargon or terminology common to men of higher knowledge. Talking about Masons. Men of higher knowledge. Men use the term light to describe knowledge not common to the common man. Many of the founding fathers of this country were and still are high-degree Masons and Shriners. They have sworn oaths not to reveal what they call secrets. It just so happens that the secrets they are bound by oath to keep just happen to be the truths to free you and I from your our graves of ignorance. So they weren't voting or deliberating on whether or not the truth was going to be revealed. They were deliberating on how to destroy our capacity to see light at all, ever. They said they would then be on a level with the beast of the field and we should be safe. The beast of the field, right there, And then they're pumping it. In this savage program, okay, they already stripped us of our nationality, so they're pumping the savagery. So even of the people who think they found something, I found out about our nationality, but you're not following the divine instructions to connect to your higher self, to subdue the lower self. You don't even think that's important. Maybe you're not even patient and calm enough to master yourself or to even try to work on that. So you're not returning to the ways of your ancient forefathers. You can't be up here cursing everybody out and being foul and putting poison into your body. Liquor, alcohol is poison. Doing drugs, everything else that they pump in rap and in R&B now. You know, urban music. It's all lower self. So you can't be taking part. You can't be a mind control victim of the savage program and then be a Moor. You're not returning to the ways of your ancestors. Okay? And so that's why they're pushing this hardcore, because the consciousness is rising. And this is the subconscious way of attacking it. They're pushing that. And, you know, I just put this out there as a wake-up call, man. I hope everybody that watches this shares it and really, like, listen and follow the advice on here. Get this stuff and apply it to yourself, right? This is a quote from Drew Ali. In time, in 1774, your light was cut off from the ancient Moors, and that is why Allah sent us a prophet in 1886 to prepare the light that was out. In 1925, the prophet said, I have mended the broken wires and have connected them with the higher power. So come on, Asiatics, don't you want to go? So with that, just that Drew Ali quote, you know, and he speaks about the light coming out of darkness into light all the time, right? Because he's using the same language that they were when they're talking about if we could extinguish the capacity to see the light, our work would be complete. Then they'd be on a level with the beasts of the field and we should be safe. All right, so it's really important that you get in and understand this. This was not a joke. And it's not all about paperwork or just proclaiming you're more. That's not good enough. You have to work on the lower self. This is important. These people knew that this was real, and they took it seriously. So if you don't take it seriously, you know, you just suffer the consequences. All right? They can continue to pretend to be us in secret, you know, and rule over us. Because even if you proclaim that you're a Moor, you still are acting like a savage. So you're still underneath them. All right? It's going to take some physical work, some real work. And the biggest thing is working on yourself. And that's what everything is letting us know. So I just wanted to put that out there and to share that, because I know a lot of us overlook that part of it, that portion. And I think that's the biggest portion, you know. And really, I just wanted to share that because, you know, we can't continue to overlook that part and think that we're going to succeed. You know, we can't. The way that this thing was set up, the biggest thing that we needed to do on a personal level, everybody needs to work on ourselves. And that's not my words, right? So I want that to be out there just for everyone to know. You know, it's not about just following this or that. You need to go to the source. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the only reason any of these people are on Moors. I don't care if they're saying they're a Washita Moor. I don't care who they are, what they're saying. You even got some people out here calling themselves Moors who are like dissing the Prophet. And it makes no sense because nobody had attacked this problem. Nobody had realized that, you know, they are they're calling us the missing link. Nobody's like letting the people know, like, hey, they have us boxed in as the missing link. The Negro, black, is a missing link, and it's outside of the family of humans, and we need to connect back to our ancestors as the Moors, and this is how we do it. You know, nobody did that, and then actually giving you the spiritual tools and things that you need to conquer, to subdue the lower self, and setting up the society for you. That's powerful. That's why I give honors to the Prophet, for real. No, I'm not doing this for fake. I really do give honors. We do really live it and do our best. And I just want to put that out there, you know, as a challenge to us all, to everybody, to step it up and to know what's really real, you know. All right. And you know, not to diss anyone else, but just keeping it real. Like a lot of these other people, man, they're fake and they just doing it for YouTube or trying to make some money. And they can't help you because they can't even help themselves. Okay. You know, people don't even have their own life together. They're, you know, caught up in this savage program. They can't help you. Just like the example I used earlier, where if you fell into a hole or you fell down and somebody's laying there next to you, they can't help you. You need someone on solid foundation. You know, somebody who's sturdy to help you get up. I'm not saying that's me. This is the Prophet. The Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. That's why you have that symbol on the Quran, where maybe you can't see this that well, but that's why he's standing on a solid rock of foundation, uplifting fallen humanity out of the cares of the world. It's not me. Some of these people are full of it. They'll try to tell you it's them, and they got baby mamas and they got drug problems. They addicted to drugs and alcohol and all types of stuff. You know, they stealing, trying to get over, and they trying to tell you to follow them. I'm saying like I don't care what you're doing, follow the prophet. Okay, he set the blueprint. Get this stuff studied, then you know what's real and what's not, and then you can recognize even people who are not acting right. All right. I don't care what kind of organization they're in. You'll recognize it. You'll see what's real and fake. You can't follow somebody who doesn't even have their own life together, right? Who's suffering with Negro problems. Not saying that anyone's perfect, but you can't, somebody can't lead if they aren't even working to subdue their lower self. How can they lead? You can't be struggling with that stuff, right? Nobody's expected to be perfect, but you can't be struggling with that stuff because you have to be on that solid rock of foundation or salvation and at least be moving towards that, And so that's really important, and that will help you recognize what's real and what's fake. It's that simple. And this, old 1920s, so what? It's real. Something is real doesn't have a it's not a fad, right? Like all of this stuff, YOLO. Even this savage stuff, it's a fad, man. It's not gonna last. Like even the names they give us, Negro, you can't, man. Negro sounds stupid now. Like you can't call people Negro. That sounds stupid. And Europeans used to call us call us Negro all the time. We used to even call each other that. They can't say that now. And then colored, they can't say colored. You sound real stupid. Nobody says colored. Everyone sounds stupid saying it. So all these things are fads. It all passes away, but this doesn't. All right, this stuff stood the test of time. It even made a comeback without any help. Nobody was promoting this. Nobody was promoting this stuff, and it made a comeback because it's real. Things that are real are not fads. They don't, they last. They stand the test of time. So on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Once again, share this. You can't just watch this. Because no one else is really teaching this or sharing this information like that. Somebody in the chat did say, can you get a sweatshirt like this? Just send me a message. You can either comment on here or send an email to bay@moorsinamerica.com, and I'll plug you up with the Moors. The Moors in Texas, they make these sweatshirts, these hoodies. They have all types of clothes, shirts and everything. They have different logos and everything on here. But this is pretty cool. It says Moab, Islam, and we got the circle 7 on there. Love, true peace, freedom, and justice. That's what we stand on all day. Not saying I'm perfect, but this is what we stand on for real. We live it. We teach it to our children. You got people in here who's acting like they're teachers, and they don't even teach this to their children. Their children not even on it with them. You got people who's out here. They have a man or a woman. Their man or woman ain't even on it with them. Like, that's crazy. That's insane. You have to get yourself first and then your household, okay? Before you can lead anyone. All right? Like, being serious. For real. That's extremely important. And, everybody has to get that together. And so, if you came in late, rewind this and watch it because this is really important. I'm not just saying that because it's on my channel. Like, this is important. More people need to know this. These should be like the basics because it is the basics. Every Moor is supposed to know this stuff. Every Moorish American should know this inside and out and understand this and to know and recognize this program. I shouldn't be the only one who talked about the Savage program. I've never heard anyone say that. It's just me. This is a real life program that is subliminal attacking us. So it's all me and my wife. That's it. We the only ones talking about this. We can't be the only ones that see it. But as far as YouTube and all that stuff, I don't see anyone else talking about it. Now I'm sure there's other Moors who recognize it and peep it because they study and they understand. But everyone else is out here in the wilderness. And if you understand this, you won't be in the wilderness. And that thing that I was showing, 1832, delegates talking about removing the light, you know, you being on a level with the beast of the field, right? Beast mode, savage. You a savage nigga. You a bitch. You a female, what did it say? Dog, a female dog, or a fox, wolf, or an otter. A carnivorous mammal. A female, like, come on, man. You can't even look at this stuff the same. You see this stuff, you know, these people, these rappers, you know, they got the songs. Meg Thee Stallion actually got a song that says bitch. Like, you see that and it's just like ridiculous now, right? You shouldn't even be able to see it the same way. It's goofy, it's stupid, and it's terrible. And they're just pawns, but the rest of these people just out here in the wilderness, man. So you have to know this. And then in order for you to be able to get out here and help uplift fallen humanity, you have to pick yourself up first. And you have to be able to subdue your lower self. And now you can live by example. Nobody telling people, nobody wants to hear me talk. Nobody wants to hear you talk. Nobody wants to be told anything. You have to live it. Live the example, and then you can teach and you can help others. And then you establish the society, right, which is what the Moorish Science Temple of America is. With the laws, we have the divine principles, so that not only are we conducting them ourselves like this, with these divine instructions, but our whole society is run like that. And that's where the power is. And that's why, you know, everything else is not knocking it. That's why I'm not calling any other groups or names out, or any other Moorish groups out. I'm not calling them out because I don't want to disparage them or make them feel like, you know, they can't succeed. But that's why all of that stuff is goofy, because they're leaving this out, and you can't leave this out. That's why this is more than 60% of the Quran is about subduing the lower self, and then applying those same principles to your community as a whole, how we interact with each other off of these same principles. And it's big. You can't leave that out. That's how it worked. That's the whole thing of returning to the ways of your ancestors, right? And that's why I had the Egyptian meme up there too. So hopefully you see like what he's talking about when he's talking about these ancestors. You see the Egyptians subduing the lower self. You hear the prophet doing it, right? Teaching you, giving you steps and tools to use. Okay? That's what it's about. So, yeah. Hopefully, you know, that makes it clear to you. And go ahead and close out for real. Make sure, though, that you click like and share. Because, like I said, man, I mean, Google, go ahead and send me some people. YouTube, Google, send me a lot of people, right? They haven't been doing it because I don't think they want the truth out, but they need to go on and do it. But I'm not going to wait on them. Y'all need to share this. Get this information out there, okay? Because it's like, it's real important because they pushing that savage stuff hardcore, all right? So, go ahead and close out on that note for real. And peace and love to everybody. Like I said, though, the brother wanted the sweatshirt, Islam, Moab, and then we got the Circle 7, Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, and Justice. Hit me up or comment on here. Just comment on here, and I'll put you in touch with the Moors who can get that to you in Dallas. And shout out to those Moors too, Islam. Peace and love to all y'all Moors in Dallas. You know, love y'all Moors. Y'all great, and they're prosperous, and they're productive. You know, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. So on that note, it's all love. Click like and share and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we're out. Peace and love.